This video is the second part of a two-part series where I show you how to make this beautiful two-piece you're seeing on your screen. So this particular video is just for the top. The video for the trouser is on my channel, so check it out. I equally cut my back and front together, and to get the width of the fabric I'll take down my shoulder measurement, a half rather of my shoulder measurement. Then the length of your sleeve determines the width of fabric. So for me, I'm using 10 inches. If you want more, it's up to you. Okay, so I'm using 10 inches and I'm coming down by 1 inch for my slope, and notice where I stopped. Okay, I didn't go all the way to the tip of the shoulder area, so I'm taking 2 inches by width and 1 inch by depth. And for my bicep, I chose to use 10 inches, and you can of course use however much you want. Okay, I just want to extend this line in case I would have any use for it. So whatever I'm having there, I'm going to bring down to this area as well, and it will help me make a straight line. Now I want to go in from this point by half an inch and connect a diagonal line back up to my shoulder slope. My hip circumference is 11.75 and that is a quarter of it, so I'm adding it here. Okay, you want to do yours, and I'll add 2 inches for ease and 1 inch for sewing allowance. So in all of this, the total I'm having here is about 15 inches, and I'm going to take it up and mark the 15 inches in this area as well. Okay, so I'll call that area my upper chest area. Now I want to connect a straight line up to the upper chest line. Okay, and now I want to make a curve. It can't be boxy like that, so I have to make a curve. I'll come out by 1 inch, so it's more like an angle now, and I'll make a curved line to make that place curvy, and I'll go ahead to cut. Now this is 12 inches. This is the point where I want my drawstring to stop, so I'm simply going to notch it so I'd know as I go on. I went ahead to cut the neckline together and I've separated, so I'm going to mark out 2 inches. This is my front. I'm marking 2 inches. Okay, I make a straight line so I can cut in a straight manner. Okay, and now I want to open up my back piece and turn the front part up, and then place the right side facing right side and join shoulders of my back and front panels. Now I want to measure the circumference of what I have around my front through my back neckline and down this way, just as you see me doing. So the whole length is 64 inches. Now I'm going to cut another fabric that would be 64 by length, 64 inches by length, and by width 5 inches. This is it. I used a small Ankara piece to complete the whole length. So I'm placing front to front or right side to right side, and I'm marking where my head will go in, or my client's head will go in. So I'm using 13 inches, and I'm going to mark the midpoint of this 5 inches. Draw a straight line and sew on that line. This is it where I've sewn. Okay, and now watch carefully how I turn. I'll turn it so we'll be able to attach it back to our front and back pieces. I went ahead to make notches at the midpoint, okay, and made same notches at the midpoint of the back panel. It would help me know where to start the attachment from. Okay, so this is what you're going to do. You're going to take the notched part of the black fabric or of the fabric you're using for your neckline and place it on top the other notch you have on the back piece and turn this way. Now you want to arrange your pieces very well, okay? Arrange or pin if necessary. Now the next thing you want to do is to sew a seam down straight also on this other side, okay? This is mine when I was done. You can tell it's looking okay. I also added a band for the hem of the sleeves. I'm having 10.5 on fold, so when I open it's about 21. So the length I'm cutting for my band is 21 by 4 inches. So I'm going to fold this way and make a seam straight down. This is how it's going to look when you turned, okay? After I was done, I went ahead to cut my excess. It's an elastic fabric, so it extended. I went ahead to turn to the wrong side to join my side seams together with 1 inch. I remember I left a 1 inch seam allowance. So I would just mark that out, okay? And the next thing I'm going to do is to trim off the excess at this area, and I sew everything. So I'm just opening some inches and I'm folding, so I'm hemming the hem of my top or the base of my top. I went ahead to close this area up. I remember where I left for my drawstring attachment, so it's about an inch. I'm simply going to fold about 0.25 in, and then I'm going to fold the rest 0.75 and sew down. For the strings or rope, I'm simply going to measure the area I have for the casing, that's 10.5, and times 2 is around 21. So you can do more than that. And for the width of the fabric, I'm cutting 2 inches. So you need 4 of these 2 inches of fabric. Fold like this and secure this end. And now I'm going to attach this rope or strings into my drawstring casing. So I attached to a pin and I began to push it through into the casing. When I was done, I pulled out the string just like this, and I'm going to remove this certain pin and put an office pin. So I'm using this office pin to secure it while I go to the sewing machine and hold it in place. You want to make horizontal sewings or seams across just in this direction to hold the both strings to your casing. And we're done. It's that easy. Don't forget to subscribe, like and share.